Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everybody in here tonight. Miss Justice, you are number one. Much love. And prayers always, PG. Much love to you, girl. Much love to you. Mountain Mama, number two. Arctic Wolf, number three. And Angel Girl, you are number four. God bless. Much love. Good to see everybody tonight. Good to see everyone. Hey, Patty, how you doing? Um, Go back and watch after the show ends to catch up. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Hey, Chris, how you doing? How you doing? Sue, there you are, girl. I'm heading to the bottom, you guys. The legendary. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, she is God's little angel. I don't know, SL. I don't know. Um, Sometimes I don't get notifications at all. Sometimes, for some of the creators, I don't even get notified at all. They're on, and I'm like, oh man, why didn't I get a notification? I don't know. Right? I don't know. I hear a lot of people say if you ain't getting a notification, go in and undo everything and then redo it. But I've done that. It don't work. I don't understand it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They sure did. That's what I heard. I heard that Lisa Kay was one of them, Molly. I heard Lisa Kay was one of them that supposedly found Ziggy a job. And then I guess Ziggy got mean with her, got real mean with her, and told her pretty much to mind her business, right? Um, Ziggy wasn't wanting no job. She wasn't wanting no job. She was being really, really sarcastic, rude, and kind of evil to all the people in her chat, right? I mean, if you said anything, she didn't like, as in, you know, finding her a job or places she could seek help other than bumming, or you mentioned that, there's a lot of places for Fred to, government programs he could get involved with to help out. She was shutting them down. She was getting really, really freaking mean with them. And she was like, oh, how could PG, how could a felon like Ernie help Fred? He was offering to pay the $100 some, almost $200. A guy that right now needs everything he gets to help himself. But he was willing to try to help Fred pay the transfer fees or whatever it was. And you say, how could he help? Well, that's how he was trying to help. He was trying to put out an olive branch because he's been through so much. He's been through a lot. I mean, right now, Ernie's fighting his own battles. And I think he's just trying to do some good things right now. And you want to shut it down? You want to shut it down? You want to be cruel to him and mean to him? I don't know. I don't know. Just because he offered to help. Um, I don't know. I don't know. You know, birds of a feather flock together, right? And it just seems like Ziggy's flocking with Ben Hill Road, right? She's flocking with that Ben Hill Road. Um, it is what it is, y'all. I call it like I see it. PG calls it like I see it. Can't call it any other way. Can't call it no other way, right? Anyway, I personally don't care. I mean, I know what she's up to. I know exactly what she's up to. Ziggy wants to get all of that money in her hands, right? Into her hands because that's who and what she is. If she accepted Ernie's offer, then she wouldn't have the opportunity of getting it 5 other times by 5 other people in that chat, right? Because no one else would give it if Ernie was going to give it. She wants 5 people in that chat. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the right hand not knowing what the left hand's doing to send that money, and someone else send that money, and someone else sends that money. And that's, I think the chats need to start learning how to correspond together. I think they need to start learning how to correspond together. The chat, you guys in chats really need to, work together as one out here in this cesspool of evilness. Because what I'm saying is that's why Ziggy didn't want Ernie's help, is because, she couldn't take 5 different people to the cleaners if the whole chat knew Ernie's paying it. So what I'm saying is if someone pays for Fred to be transferred, then they need to put it in the chat. I just sent money for Fred to be transferred. So that, save the rest of the chat. Save the rest of the chat from sending money as well. Save the rest of, save the rest of the chat from being took to the cleaners by someone up on that panel looking to do exactly that. Right? That's what I'm saying. And Ziggy is not an honest person. What I'm saying is, if a person in her chat sent her the money, she wouldn't say nothing, hoping someone else sends it too, and someone else sends it too. And she, instead of getting $200, right? 200 to transfer Fred, she get like 1,000, right? 5 people. That's $1,000. That's what that's just how evil humans operate, to be honest. I just want to put that out there. They ain't going to operate that way with PG, because I'm not transferring nobody when I know that's the state's problem, right? And they'll make sure it gets done and it gets paid for. Anytime, low income humans can't get something done, the state picks it up. The state comes in, makes provisions, and they pick it up. It's just the way it is. Especially if you got a probation officer, all of this stuff is being court ordered. It's just how it works, you guys. State pays for everything. They paid to put him into that halfway, that rehab, and they're paying for, all of his treatments and to keep him up, and he's getting his Social Security. He's living in there for free, getting his Social Security. Fred ain't hurting. Fred's not hurting at all. Just saying. Um, right, right. You know, I I don't have a problem. You know, I'm in other channels. I go to a lot of channels, under PG, and I also go to a lot of channels, you know, under different a different account as well. Everybody loves my different account. Nobody likes PG hardly, right? I mean, I go under the other account and everybody's like, hello, hello, sending up hearts and love and kindness, and go in there as PG. Block, timed out, right? I'm like, wow, you guys love me and you don't even know it. But some channels I donate to, right? I donate to help keep the channel running. I don't mind doing that. I don't donate to any. I don't donate to any go, fund me's. I don't, I just don't, because too many times it's been scamming, right? It's been scamming. Like the hunter and and Andrew thing, scamming. And this Ann lady, from what I'm hearing, that is bad. And just, just too much of it, you guys. The Jody Sue, the hunter and his dad, just one after the other. And when people come out here and they do that, when they do that kind of stuff, well, it makes it hard on all the other channels. It makes it hard on all the other channels to get support to keep their channels running, and it's not right. It's not right. And, but I don't let that evilness stop me from supporting channels that, I truly feel are for the children, that I know that, how much time and effort and everything the creator's putting into it. And, and I don't mind, you know, I don't mind, donating a little bit of money. Absolutely not. I don't mind that at all. Um, to help them keep, to help them keep that channel moving forward, because, I'm in there. If I go to the movie theater, I pay for the tickets, right? If I watch TV, I pay for the cable and everything to do it with. I mean, I don't expect, to sit in a creator's chat and not support the channel. I don't, I don't expect to get free entertainment all the time. And updates on everything going on. So I do, I do donate. I'm not gonna say I don't. Have I been took to the cleaners? Yes, absolutely. Um, absolutely. PG's. Um, I've been took. No doubt, I've been took. Like everybody else. I fell for a sad song and what I thought was a good cause, and uh yeah, lesson learned. That is true. Lesson learned. But I don't get into that stuff anymore. If somebody's having a fundraiser, I stay out of it. I'm like, no. I support the channel. I'm not supporting no fundraisers. Because if that fundraiser goes bad, it makes everybody that donated feel bad. And I don't want nothing to do with that. I just don't want anything to do with it. Um, if it's, if I know personally it's for a really good cause, like I can see it, I can see the person. Like, for instance, Ernie opened that camera up. You could see he needed help. No question about it. He needed help. So yes, I have no problems helping out someone that truly needs help. Um, and there's been others, that truly needed it. And, and I had no problems, with supporting it. Absolutely not. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes, it's a lie. Now, this Ann lady, I understand that, um, some kind of alert place, the community came together to build her a whole new house in 2023. Um, and she got a lot from my understandings. And then she came out here and got a lot. And then she's back out wanting more. And it's not all people's job to keep this woman's bank account full. It's not everybody's job to do that. Um, you know, the first time, the first time is one thing. The second time, well, start to take heed. Back for a third time, I think you should learn your lesson by now and what's going on. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of mixed emotions out here about Anne. I don't know, I don't know. I have no idea. Personally, I just think Anne's got enough. I think she's got enough. I think people, you know, I think once she started, expecting instead of respecting, and, you know, and just, she got so much, she can't, get enough now. And that's wrong. That's wrong. Um, I don't care what anybody says, it's wrong. So, I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what to tell people out here when it comes to, it's their money. It's their money, right? Just like my money's my money. And God knows I'll spend it however I please. I'll spend it however I want to. I don't want nobody telling me how to spend my money. And, I can't tell anyone else how to spend theirs. I can just say, be careful. Because it hurts a lot. It really hurts when you got took to the cleaners. It hurts. It bothers you. You know, it makes you, it hardens your heart. It hardens your heart for a while. When people do that, you know, it hardens your heart, and then it keeps you from helping, it keeps you from doing God's will. It keeps you from helping someone else that would have truly needed it and truly would have been thankful. You know, it keeps you from doing the real good deed for someone. And I know how that is. I know how that is, I don't let the devil harden my heart. I just don't do it. I know I know what the devil's seeking, and I don't like to give anybody what they want. I don't like to give no one what they want. If I know somebody wants something, I'm like, hell no, especially evil people. I'm like, nah, you ain't going to undermine me. You're not going to get off my back, devil. Right? Get off my back. You ain't going to do this. I'm going to help people regardless. You know, I'm just going to chalk it up as a bad experience and move on. That's all I ever lost. Well, if that's all you ever lost, don't fret over it. Don't fret over it. But I don't know. There's just so many of them out here. There's so many out here in the YouTube community, and these people get a lot. They get a lot, and it makes me sad that they make people suffer. Makes people suffer that don't get a lot. They prey on them, and that's wrong. It's wrong to prey on someone. But you're absolutely right. She was blocking people. She was blocking people. Exactly, second to none. Exactly. Well, I'm going to tell you, for the longest time, I tried to figure out, right, why evil people do things. It's because they can. It's because you're the one that's supposed to let evil humans know they can't. You know, you don't stand up for yourself. Well, bad stuff's going to happen. It's up to you. It's up to you to say, hey, no, you're not going to do this to me. They do evil stuff because they can, or they think they can anyway. They don't do evil shit to people they know they can't do evil shit to. They don't do evil stuff to people they know they better not be doing it to. They only do it to the people that they think they can. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Usually that's God-fearing, upstanding, law-abiding citizens. That's the good people in the world that they're doing all this evil to. The good people. Fred was in Fred Hill was in Ziggy's chat. He says, it's amazing what a backwards hillbilly can do in cases. And he started laughing. He thought it was funny. This is a 5-year-old missing little girl. I don't think that's funny. I don't think any missing child's case is funny. And TBI has surveillance on this street. I guess they do. You're in a rehabilitation center where criminals are right out of prison. I'm sure they are on that street. I'm sure they are. They have to keep up with that street. PG was the one that promised Laura that she would pay her to lie about some things to meet her narrative, but never paid Laura. And Laura's really pissed off at PG now about it. And that's not true, Fred. That's not true. In the least. That's not true in the least. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Obviously, Laura said stuff that was incriminating to your ass. And now you're trying to discredit her and her character. What you're doing is you're calling Laura a liar. You're calling Laura a liar. You're making Laura look bad. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to her? You're the one that ran off with somebody else, not Laura. Laura loved you. Why the hell would you try to make her look bad like this? Or why would you let Ziggy? I think Ziggy runs your account a lot, Fred. I think Ziggy runs your accounts a lot. Why would you let her make Laura look bad? You're a real piece of shit. And I'm going to tell you, I think the people know PG out here well enough to know that PG didn't offer Laura a damn thing. Matter of fact, I ain't ever offered no one nothing. Period. Ever. Ever. When people talk to PG, they talk to me because they want to, or they can take a flying freak. It's just the way it is. I'm going to tell you now that Stacy Wanderer hit PG up. He hit me up. And I didn't speak to him at all. I didn't speak to him at all because I already seen where he was wanting money, wanting monies and wanting stuff to be on people's channels. I told Stacy Wanderer what he could go do with himself, right? I told him what he could go do with himself. We don't do that here. Do you want to come and talk here? You'll talk for free. Or you can, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Right? It's just the way it is. Straight up. That's right, Carrie. That's right. But Fred's obviously shaking in his boots about some of the stuff Laura said, because he knows it's been turned into law enforcement. He knows it's been turned into Hawkins County, TBI, right? The feds. He knows it all's done been turned in. He knows it's all out here on YouTube. And he's shaking in his boots. It's incriminating to him, right? It's incriminating to him what Laura has said. And he knows it. Could get him locked up. Could get him put in prison. I don't know. That's true. But there's not a lick of truth to what he said there. Not even a lick. I have not ever spoken to Ernie. I don't think Ernie would want to really speak to you, to be honest, but I don't know. He's having other people trying to contact me now for a yes or no. I don't believe that either. I don't believe that either. Ernie does his own work. He does his own business. I can't discuss what me and Ellie, TBI, talked about. Get real. Now he's playing the Wells, right? Now he's playing Don and Candace Wells. Now he wants to play Don and Candace. TBI don't tell you, to hold any information. You're free to talk however you please about whatever you want. And it's BS. It's BS. Ernie, if that's a threat, I'm not scared of you or anyone else. You need to check yourself before you act radical. I want to tell you something. Fred, I don't think you wrote this. Radical? That sounds like a word Ziggy would use. That sounds like a word that Ziggy would use, not you, Fred. Just saying. It seems like Ziggy's talk, not yours. And they would have lots of fun with Ernie in Knoxville County Jail. They would love Ernie and a bunch of laughing. I want to tell you, this is more like a girl than a man writing, to be honest. Maybe his decoys was the fat chicks at the meeting. Oh, look how he talks about women. How's he going to talk to Ziggy? Ziggy ain't no beanpole, right? Ziggy's no beanpole. How's he going to talk to her? Right? How's he going to speak to her and her daughter? Gotta wonder about this. It was horrible, he said. It was horrible. When I finally got up, you couldn't even see my chair. The Uber is only 9 minutes. but by bus an hour and a half. Ernie can meet me at Hawkins County Wednesday and we can go over what he knows they would be interested in. Knowing they would be interested in him turning in information. It sounds to me like Fred is trying to, he thinks that Ernie is a fugitive. He thinks if Ernie goes to Hawkins County sheriff's department, that he's going to be arrested, right? He thinks that Ernie's going to be, well, Fred might be too. Because if indeed Ernie is a felon, a fugitive, well, Fred's on probation. He's on supervised probation, and he's not allowed to be corresponding or hanging with or being anywhere around another felon or fugitive. So if he shows up there with Ernie, well, he's going to jail too, right? Yeah, that's true. I checked it. And it's true. Nothing is child proof, just adult proof. What is he trying to tell us? What is he trying to tell us in this little statement about Summer? What is he trying to tell us about Summer? Nothing's child proof, just adult proof. Right? I don't know. You know, this is Fred's statements, not PG's. Right out of the horse's mouth, right? And I hear a lot of people out here saying, PG. Laura left Fred. Laura and Fred broke up when Ziggy moved in on him. No. Ziggy made a statement that it seemed like you were pushing Fred towards her, them two together. Is there any truth to that?
I don't reckon. Best of my knowledge, no, I didn't push her towards him. I mean,
and why?
No, because if that was the case, then why would I keep on keeping him up? If I was just going to relent it all, just to give it all away to somebody that I knowed was going to do what I told her to begin with she's going to fucking do, which was try to sweep in and start sleeping with my old man, and that's exactly what I told her she would do. The first time I ever met her. If she wants to get down to the nitty gritty on it.
Ziggy made. There you go. Laura did not leave Fred. Fred left Laura. And long before Laura knew about it. He left her before she knew about it. I guess that's the worst kind, right? The worst kind is when, a man leaves you before you know he left. And what I mean is, when he's been sneaking around with someone else, taking the time to see if it's going to work before his ass goes. That's the worst kind. Right? In case it don't work out, they're keeping you there. They're keeping you on the hook. That's BS. That's BS right there. But as I said, no. I'm tired of people saying that Laura was split up with Fred before Ziggy moved in on him. No, she wasn't. Ziggy started moving in on Fred the first time she met him. She started moving in and wasn't going to quit. That's true. Also, Let's listen to this.
Yep, he shot in the wall.
So you lost your kids because Fred
Yes.
shot the gun through the wall.
Because Fred's sister come in and had her pistol out, and they was arguing, and Fred shot through the wall so couldn't scare her away.
Oh my Lord. And that's when you lost your kids?
Actually, the day after I lost my kids.
How old was they?
My daughters were 13 and 14, and my little boy was a year old, and my little girl was my and Fred's little girl together was 6.
Oh wow.
She was in kindergarten.
And you ain't seen your kids since?
I've seen my girls, but I ain't seen my little boy since he was a year old.
Oh wow. Did your little boy go to your family, or they adopt? Yeah. He's with your family too?
But they won't let me see him.
Wow. So Fred wasn't willing to straighten up, and
but actually they wouldn't let me see him while I was with Fred.
How is Fred now? I mean, what do you think Ziggy's got on her hands?
Got a handful of.
As you see, Fred was the whole cause of Laura losing the kids, and he wouldn't straighten up enough to help Laura ever get them back. Wouldn't straighten up enough to ever let her, help her to get them back. He promised he would, but he didn't. I mean,
he's not nothing like he tries to put out there. I'll just tell you that much.
Do you think that Cotton had anything to do with what happened to Summer? I mean, do you think Fred's telling the truth when it comes to Summer's
said
case?
Something to Fred, but I don't know what he said.
Cotton said something to Fred, or maybe Fred says something to Cotton. She don't know because she wasn't in that conversation. And then Cotton ended up dead.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And you could hear the remorse in her voice. She's like, yeah. As if she remorse and fear. She don't want to really talk about it. What he said to Fred, was it about Summer's case? Do you know if it was about Summer's case or not?
Fred come in and said something that he told him something about Summer, but he didn't tell me the details. He said I didn't need to know because I didn't need to be in the middle of it.
Oh, Lord. Wow. And do you know if law enforcement...
He's protecting me.
He said he's protecting me. What would she need protected against? He's protecting her? Again, from what? From what? Cotton ends up deceased later, right? Cotton ends up deceased right after that. Kind of strange, you guys. Kind of strange if you ask me. Right? Kind of strange if you ask me. This I find weird as well. Laura, the day that Summer came up missing, was you at home or was you with Fred?
I was with Fred. We was hauling cars.
You were hauling cars that day? And
yep.
So Chad was at your property?
He come in while we was gone to the crusher. And
he said,
and he seen Candace at the end of the driveway.
And
he said it was started up a hill, and she turned around and looked at him and said, "Do you know if they're home?" And he said, "Well, their truck's not there." And said she turned around, walked back down there, and got in her truck. Didn't even knock on the door, nothing.
Wow. Y'all feel like the
and what time was that?
Um, I think he said it was about 3:30 or 4. About.
Now, if Cotton seen Candace down there at Fred's and there's house, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and Fred and Laura supposedly saw Candace over about 8 to 10 minutes away at 3:15. Well, that don't make no sense, because there's no way that Candace could have gotten home, up on the hill, gotten Grandis out of the vehicle and the groceries and did all these things, and been at Fred's place at the same time too. There's no way. There's no way. Absolutely not. Candace would have had to come straight in to Ben Hill Road and actually put her mother out of the vehicle and go straight on down to Fred's in order for Chad to came in there and seen her between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. There's no way. There's no way. She wouldn't have had time there's just ain't the time. What I'm saying is, Summer wouldn't have ever gotten taken out of the vehicle. Even if Candace went up on the hill and let her mother out of the vehicle, Summer's in the back. There's no way that she could have been, taken out of the vehicle. There's no way. She would have had to still been in the vehicle when Candace came back off the hill to go down to Fred's. And then when Chad comes in, there's nobody in the vehicle but Candace. Where does Summer go? Where does Summer go? Because she would have had to have been in the vehicle. That's what I'm talking about. She would have had to have been in that vehicle. She'd have had to have been in the back seat of Grandis's vehicle. The time frame ain't working. The time frame isn't working. There's lying going on here. There's lying going on. Just saying.
Probably about 4:30, something like that.
Did Chad see if there was anybody else in the car with her? Did Chad see if there was anyone else in that car with her? Did he mention that she had any passengers? Now, did you take note? Did you take note that she said between 3 and 4, and then she changed it up to 4 to 4 because she's like, me and Fred wouldn't have been out of the holler. We wouldn't have, or just barely getting out of the holler at that time. That would have put her, Candace, and Fred at Fred's house together right before Fred and Laura left out for Chad to come in and find Candace still there. I think that's what happened. To be honest. I think Candace was down there with Laura and Fred at Fred's house. And I truly believe that when Chad came in, Fred and Laura had just barely gotten out of there. And Candace just hadn't got moving yet. And Fred, Chad would have, if Chad would have came in just a little sooner, I think if Chad would have came in a little bit sooner, he would have seen what was going on down there. To be honest. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
He said they wasn't.
He said nobody was in the vehicle but her?
I think so, yeah. I think that's what he told the law enforcement.
That nobody was in the vehicle with her when she came down there but her.
Just her.
And that's
And
Oh,
she said
okay.
she was looking for her little girl.
and if
And
that was
Chad
She said she was looking for her little girl. Her little girl that would have been in the back seat of that vehicle when she first showed up down there. Because they hadn't had time to get her out yet.
said that if she, for somebody that was looking for her little girl, she didn't give it much effort because she didn't even walk up on the hill and knock on the door or nothing.
Of course, she's not going to walk up on the hill and knock on the door or anything because she already knows. She done seen you and Fred. She done did what you guys done, in my opinion. And she knew. She knew. Why is she going to walk up on the hill when she knew you guys done gone out of there? Why would she do that? And obviously gone out of there with Summer because she tells Chad her daughter's missing. And there's no way Summer could have been missing that quick unless she got took off with Fred and Laura. And it's the only thing making sense, you guys. It's the only thing making sense. She shows up down there. She shows up down there. Hold on.
Okay.
She shows up down there at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Around, you know, between 3:30 around 4 o'clock
right.
at the house, telling you or telling Chad that she's looking for Summer.
And this is over 2 hours before she calls 911, right? At 6.
Wow. Yeah, she did. And she's all by herself in the vehicle.
See, that don't add up.
No, this ain't adding up at all. It don't add up because Summer would have had to have been in that back seat. Candace would not have had time to come off that hill and dispose of Summer anywhere else. No way in hell. No way. No way. She didn't even get back there she didn't even get back into the holler until like 3:30. Right? Till like 3:30, almost 3:30. So she would have had to go directly to Fred's house. She wouldn't even had time to get Summer out of the back seat up on the hill.
Candace was seen by.
Did Chad say if she was in the truck or in the Subaru?
I think she was in the truck.
She was in Don's white truck.
No, she was in. I think it was Grandis's truck.
Boom, boom. Exactly where Summer was on the milk jugs. Exactly where Summer was on the milk jugs, right? Dropped Grandma off on the hill and made a circle up on that hill. Went up on that hill, made a circle, dropped Grandma off, and went right back out and down to Fred's. Summer was not ever taken out of the back of that vehicle up on 110 Ben Hill Road. She was not. She was still in the back of that vehicle, in my opinion, when Candace went down to Fred and Laura's. When Chad came in, Summer was missing. So who took her? Who took her? There's only 2 people there that could have took her. Fred and Laura. In Grandis's truck. Not the Suburban. Not the green Suburban.
No.
She was driving Grandis's vehicle.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Can you just lay out what Chad said? Like what he had told?
That she was when he come in the holler and pulled up, that she was parked at the bottom of the hill, and that she was. I think he said she was hollering for Summer. And he turned around, looked at him, and hollered at him and asked him if he knowed if we was home. And he just kind of looked at her like, well, duh, the truck's not here. You know?
Right. Exactly.
And, I mean, we was all pretty rude to him. I'm not going to lie. Because
we was all pretty rude to him. We were all pretty rude to him. I thought you didn't see him. I thought you didn't talk to him. How are you going to be rude if you didn't see or talk with them?
They wasn't very stand-up people.
Exactly. And then he follows her because you guys weren't home. He follows her out of the holler.
Out of the holler.
And and she was actually there looking for Summer at that time. And what time? And you said Fred and you had to get somewhere before 4 o'clock.
Well, yeah, we had to be at the scrapyard for 4 o'clock to haul car off.
And what time did you guys actually leave?
Shoot, we was pushing it. It was about 3 or 3:15 because everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Okay, so there you go. There you go. 3:15. No, the crusher closed at 5 o'clock. The crusher closed at 5. They didn't get out of that. And Fred tried to say he saw Andy at 3:30. How could he see Andy at 3:30 if he's supposed to already be out of the holler? They probably seen someone. It wasn't Andy. They probably seen someone. They might have thought it was Andy. Because they were so busy with Candace. So busy with Candace. I don't know. I don't know. Sounds to me like when Chad pulled up, what it sounds to me like is Candace came in that holler, went up on Ben Hill Road, and dropped Granny out of the car, went back down, off directly back off the hill and down to Fred's house with Summer still on the back seat on the milk jugs. When Chad came in, Summer was no longer in the vehicle. So where does Summer go? Where does Summer go? That's, it's not making sense. It's not making sense, you guys. And then Cotton saying something about Summer's case, and he ends up unalived. He becomes a bugaboo to Fred, and he becomes unalived, right? I'm going to tell you, it ain't sounding good. It's not sounding good. When Candace came off the hill and went down to Fred's, was Cotton there? Was it Laura, Fred, and Cotton down there? Did Cotton know? Did Cotton know what took place and conspired that day? Did he become a problem for Fred with what he knew? It sounds like yes, a possibility. I don't know, in my opinion, yes, absolutely. It's true. It's a very good possibility Summer was not with us, was no longer with us on the milk jugs. That's true. That's true. Sometimes it's hard to face the truth. Sometimes it's hard to face the truth, you guys. We wanted her to be alive, right? We wanted her to be alive. But it sounded like she may not have been. It sounds like, she was taken directly down to Fred's, and I'm not sure what transpired after all of that. I don't know. I don't know. It don't sound good. It don't sound good. It didn't sound good for Summer. It doesn't sound, and Fred's afraid. Fred is afraid of this information being out here. He's afraid, or he wouldn't have posted this. He wouldn't have posted this. He would not have tried to discredit. He would not have tried to discredit Laura's, Laura's voice and what she's been telling, if he had nothing to fear. He's trying to discredit this woman by saying that she would lie for money, Right? Nobody offered Laura no money. I'll tell you that right now. And Fred knows it. And Fred knows Laura is telling the truth. She's telling the truth, right? It's just the way it is. Oh, Sullivan, super sticker. Hey, girl, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support for Summer's channel. God bless. Much love. I appreciate it. I don't know. It's it don't sound good. It don't sound good. That's all I'm saying. And I think that Fred thinks that, he's going to set Ernie up. They think Ernie's a fugitive. They think they're going to set him up, at Hawkins County and try to get him, incarcerated. Fred, and, what kind of human says things like, let me see. Right here. They would have a lot of fun with Ernie in Knoxville County Jail. They would love Ernie. Did they love you, Fred? Is that how you know? Did they love you? It's kind of sick to say something like this. What kind of man are you? How do you know they would love Ernie? Would you love Ernie? You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder about these people, and their mental capacity. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I don't like that kind of stuff, These people are evil-minded. Ben Hill Road, oh my God. I don't think there's a scummier place on earth, to be honest with you. I don't think there's probably not. I mean, that place was holding some of the most evil human beings ever known to man, right? Just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And none of them mother freakers up in there seem to be taking a bath. That's sick. Them mother freakers knew each other by the smell, right? They knew who came on their land by the smell. That's disgusting. That's just nasty. That's nasty. I don't even care. And, to make a statement like this about another man, makes me wonder. Makes me wonder about Fred, right? That's gross. That's gross right there. Just saying. Just putting it out there, right? I guess, lucky a man didn't come along. He probably could have took Fred away from Laura. They would have really loved Ernie. They would love him. That's gross. That is freaking just gross. Listen, you guys, I came in here tonight. I wasn't going to stay a long time. I just wanted to, I had to, the live last night, I took it away. A lot of people was asking, why PG take the live away? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I won't have someone saying bad things about a creator that's for these missing children. Not on this channel, not on Summer's channel. Summer's channel is not going to have, bad things being, put out there about a creator who is truly for the missing children, and Ernie is. I truly believe that. I believe Ernie really is for the missing children, and I won't have that kind of information going around under Summer's channel. So I did take it away, and I came in tonight, to redo the content so everyone could, wouldn't miss out on the content that was actually up last night. And it could be, be left up for anyone who, wants to review it and go over it and maybe analyze it. See what you, from these words, see what you think might have went down, right, or corresponded with these people. It's been a long time. Summer still hasn't been found. And, we have prayed so hard. We have prayed so hard. I'm sure so many of us have prayed so hard for this baby to be found, brought home, justice served. And I wish, I wish that those prayers would have been answered by now. Why they haven't, I don't know. I can't question God. I can't question God. I know that, he has a reason. He has a reason. And I'm just going to keep praying. I'm going to keep praying, and I'm sure at some point, God will bring the truth to the light. It says what is done in the dark will be brought to the light. So I know that at some point, Summer's case will be solved. People will know what happened. Until then, we'll just have to keep praying. We'll just have to keep, trying to get law enforcement to do everything they can to solve the case for us. And that's as much as we can do. That's as much as we can do out here amongst all of this. PG has respect, which not a lot of creators have, in my opinion. Oh, I appreciate that, Carrie. I try. Summer's light will shine. I'm going to tell you, it does. It still is. I'm going to tell you, this one little girl has brought so much good to this world, you guys. That one little girl has already brought so much good. I can't even tell you how much light she's already brought to this world. She has brought so many people together with love, kindness, and caring. She has helped so many people. She helped her brothers. She's helped all of us. She's helped so many. Summer, her light is still burning, and it's burning bright, and it will continue to be burning bright. I think forever on this earth. I think forever on this earth. Summer might be gone, but she won't ever be forgotten. She will not ever be forgotten. And especially by the people who love her, that truly love her. Summer's story, her name and her story will be handed down through many, many generations. Through many generations. In the future. And her light will continue to burn. Hopefully, she is found, she's laid to rest. And we all, including her brothers, get the closure that we're all seeking to find in this case. But most of all, I pray Summer's found for Summer. I pray she's found for her. I pray she's found in order to be laid to rest properly the way she should have to begin with. It takes an awful cruel person to do what has been done, and even a crueler, more evil person to hide her away somewhere that she can't ever be properly put to rest. That's a double evil. That's a double evil, if you ask me. There's some evil folks in the world that do some really evil things, but at least they put the child where it can be found so that it can be laid to rest properly. The evil people in this case didn't even have enough kindness or caring to do that. So that allows us to understand. It allows us to understand that Summer's being, her being, was going to show a lot of abuse in the past and up until whatever happened to her. They knew that if they found Summer, they would be able to backtrack and put them in prison due to the extent of abuse to her being. It wouldn't have been fresh abuse by like an abductor. That's what I'm saying. There'd have been many scars from the past found. And that would have been all bad for the evildoers, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Hey, girl, I appreciate it. Love you, PG. Sending you and your family hugs and prayers. Much love. Hey, girl, I appreciate those prayers. They're worth more than fine gold. They're worth more than fine gold. And I sure appreciate them. I appreciate them in the name of Jesus. Amen. Anyway, PG's going to go out of here. I'm going to ask that everyone please continue to keep the prayers going up for little Summer. Please continue to keep the prayers going up for this baby, from our lips to God's ears through his son, Jesus Christ. I know that God's listening. I know he's hearing our prayers. And I also truly believe that at some point, God is going to answer. He's going to answer, you guys. So let us keep praying and keep knowing that at some point, God's going to pull this completely into the light. I think he's answered a lot of things already. I think he's led us to find the truth in so many different areas. I just pray that he lets us find Summer. That's what I pray. And I'm sure at some point he will. Maybe there's some people, after Little Harmony's case, maybe God feels that there's a lot of people that ain't ready to go through that again. Maybe that's why Summer hasn't, been found. I don't know. I know God's got his reasonings. He's got his reasonings. So let's trust in God. Let's trust in God and just keep praying. That's all we can do. Pray for one another as well. Pray for one another as well. So many people need in prayer. Let us pray for them in the name of Jesus. That's what we're supposed to do. And let us also pray that God opens our eyes out here. That he opens our eyes out here to all the evilness and doesn't let us fall victim to none of it. Let us pray our eyes get open. in the name of Jesus as well. I'm going to say good night. God bless and much love, everybody.